My name is Luiza and I'm a life and relationship coach. I've been doing this for over 5 years now and I'm ICF accredited. I acquired my PCC accreditation in February of 2024. I prefer not to tie myself down to one coaching niche in particular. What I would say is that I help people who resonate with the work that I do and who are aligned with the help that I can provide for them. Over the years, I have coached many different people, different individuals, both men and women of many different ages and from many different backgrounds looking to achieve different goals. What I have noticed is that my main clientele, which I can help, are women who are looking to enhance their level of self-worth, self-love, and confidence, and who are looking to elevate the experience that they have in romantic relationships. Before becoming a coach, I studied business in university and achieved my bachelor's in that. While I was in university, I had an entrepreneurial mindset and I went from being in school and wanting to become an accountant to exploring different entrepreneurial avenues, such as doing my own dance classes, being a choreographer, also tutoring business studies, accounting, and Spanish to students who were younger than me, who were a couple of years younger, preparing for their exams. While I was in university, and even before that, from the age of 15, I've always loved personal development, and I read many books, listened to many podcasts, and loved learning and applying the laws of the universe and my ability to create my own life. That was something I was very passionate about. While I was in university and pursuing and exploring different entrepreneurial pathways, I came across coaching, the coaching industry. I started to learn about it and I was very fascinated by the work that coaches do. And so right after I finished my bachelor's degree in university, I decided to do a coaching course and then go on to acquire my ACC with the ICF to become a certified coach and to start my own practice. What inspired me to do coaching and to pick the specific niche that I chose is the fact that my own life experience brought me there and my own passions and interests. So first of all, I look at it and see that personal development, learning about how the world works and how you can create your own reality is something that I love to look at. And I found myself doing that with myself, but also sharing it with friends and family even before being a coach. And so that's how I knew that that passion and interest was something that I was meant for. And thinking about the possibility of doing that coaching work and engaging in this personal development and helping others to develop and achieve their goals and what matters most to them was something that lit me up. And so that is why I decided to go down this path. When it comes to the specific niche that I chose, I definitely think that as coaches, our life experiences and learnings along the way do shape the type of coach that we become. And so I had my own self-love journey, my confidence building journey, and many experiences when it comes to friendships and different relationships that I learned a lot from. And what I learned about and what I ended up creating when it comes to the person that I am and the friendships and relationships that I have really inspired me to help others do the same, because I went from being dissatisfied in those areas of life to being very satisfied, and knowing that I could take control of that and that I had power to develop and to experience a life that I desired was a beautiful thing. And I thought, imagine the fulfillment that I would get from helping others do the same. When I think of additional knowledge and skills that I needed to acquire in order to be the best coach that I can be, it's definitely thinking of continuous learning along the way. Having a mindset and an attitude of you can never stop learning, that you're going to learn along the way from the self-study that you do and also from your clients. There's a consistent and constant development journey as a person and as a coach in life. And when you start with that attitude then along the way, you're going to learn so much so that you can provide your clients with deeper, meaningful work. For me personally, when I think about the knowledge that I acquired, it's definitely becoming more trauma informed, learning about the body, the nervous system, learning about CBT, and so many other tools and ways in which we can create sustainable change and development within the client, getting to the root cause, not just the surface level change that the client can apply now and see short-term results. I really wanted to focus on applying knowledge, applying tools, and being able to understand how I can help the client to create sustainable long-term change and look at the root cause, make sure that we eliminate that along the way so the client can truly go away equipped even beyond our coaching journey to make sure that they feel empowered to tackle future challenges that come their way as well. When I think of skills that I've acquired along the way, I think that as a coach, there's a natural openness and curiosity that is required. And of course, it can be developed along the way. But for me personally, I definitely felt that the foundational skills of a coach are something that came to me very naturally, which are curiosity and empathy, listening. As I developed as a coach, I definitely developed my active listening skills and my powerful questioning. Additional to that, I would say it's really important to develop self-trust as a coach, as well as trust in your clients, knowing that and holding the highest vision for them, knowing that they have the ability and the power to make the change, to progress towards their goals. There's definitely an additional service that I provide along with coaching at times, and that is mentoring. The reason I do this is because you don't know what you don't know. And there's certain knowledge that is necessary and foundational in order to create the sustainable change that I mentioned. So of course, I always collaborate with the client and I always ask permission. If the client is open to it, I do also switch to mentoring at times. And that looks like me sharing certain information, providing further resources for the client to learn. It could at times mean me sharing what I have learned along the way. However, what's really important to distinguish here is that I make sure that if I do combine the mentoring with the coaching, it's something that I have permission from the client on and that I clarify with the client as well. Of course, we have so many different hats that we can put on, and as long as we are clear on what the relationship is and what the collaboration is at any given moment, I do find myself at times with clients who I feel need that mentoring support as well as the coaching in order to create sustainable change. It is something that I add along the way. As I mentioned earlier, I do coach on many different topics. I've coached many different individuals who have had very different goals, from professional to interpersonal to personal goals. But the main focuses that I look at with many clients in my coaching is self-love, self-worth, confidence, and relationships. Now, if I were to look at how the clients find me, it is definitely through social media. I use Instagram and LinkedIn as my two social media channels to reach clients. And as well as that, I definitely have a referral system in place that brings in many clients. My website is another way that clients come in. They would be my top three and my most consistent forms of acquiring clients. Witnessing client transformations is one of the most beautiful and fulfilling parts of being a coach. And if I were to share an experience of that transformation, thinking of one specific client, I would definitely say that it's seeing the client develop, the person that they are, go from being someone who was hiding behind a shell or underneath a mask to living authentically and confidently. And so seeing this client experience the boundary setting process, falling in love with themselves and with life, being able to have a confidence to communicate in a way that they are kind, but that they listen to what they desire in life, was such a beautiful transformation. And from there, they were able to see external results as well in their lives. They were able to have more meaningful relationships where there was a win-win involved rather than a people-pleasing tendency. There was a lot more fairness. Seeing how fulfilling it was for the client to go on that development journey and the level of self-trust that this client built was absolutely breathtaking, and hearing the progress along the way was beautiful and heartwarming to see. And the most powerful thing in this transformation is that it's not that the client didn't have more challenges along the way or didn't have more inner work to do. It was the fact that the client had such a deep level of self-trust and was equipped with the right tools to take on any challenges that come their way. Getting to focus on this specific specialization within coaching lights me up, and it brings me so much purpose and fulfillment on a daily basis. And partially it's because I've lived through the experience of making the change, of using the right tools and knowledge to develop as a person and to live a life that I desire. And so being able to help others do the same is so beautiful and heartwarming. And I really do see it as such a blessing to be a coach in this world, because it's something that I'm interested in, that I'm very passionate about, and I get to do that in my daily work, which is wonderful. And I'm so thankful for it on a daily basis. It feels to me like it's a win-win for everybody involved, because I get so much out of it, clients get so much out of it, and then there's a ripple effect of goodness through coaching. And so I absolutely adore coaching, and I feel so thankful and blessed that it's something that I get to do daily. What I would say to aspiring coaches who are looking to focus on the same or a similar specialization is that if you have this desire within you to be a coach, and it's something that you are interested in or passionate about, that desire is there for a reason. It is part of your purpose. And since you desire it, it means that it's possible for you and that you are capable of doing it as well, and doing it very well. And the impact that you can make is something that's guaranteed. So I invite you to trust that desire as a sign of success, first of all, to know that you can live a very fulfilling and happy life through it, and at the same time help others to do the same. And what a beautiful thing that is. And once you look at it that way, the second thing that I would say is that along the way, along the coaching journey, along making sure that you have the right knowledge and skills, and as you build your practice, know that it's very important to enjoy the journey, because there's always room for development. There's always more learning and more growth to be had. And so sit in the unfolding, enjoy the present moment, and know that that success is guaranteed, and that that purpose and joy is guaranteed along the way. And so take in every moment and have a balance between wanting to grow, wanting to learn more, but enjoying and being thankful for what is right now.
Discover coaching, or become a globally accredited professional coach. Ignite Global 360, your professional development partner.